Buddy, how's it going? Welcome to another edition of the Horns Forward podcast. Obviously, I am El Mariachi. We get joined by DJ up there, and then we are
Yes, it is.
joined by our very special guest, Brian BD, right here.
What's up, everybody?
Texas
How's
Talking
it going?
Football. And we did have our other co-host, Jason, and as soon as I clicked go live, he decided to just duck out. So his loss. We'll wait for him to jump on. But couple of updates for you guys who are tuning into the show today. Unfortunately, thanks to the wonders of air travel, our guests for tonight were unable to join us, the Predator couple from the Houston Roughnecks fan base. So we have the inmates running the asylum today because our I guess you would call the one person who keeps us in check, Miss Brahmacita. She's not here. She's out watching Hamilton. So it's the bro show. It's the man show today.
That's right. That's right.
And so
What's up, everybody?
I like to start them off the same way with one of these bad boys. A little ASMR action. Oh yeah, there we go. Can't do that with your juice box, TJ. Well, you got a little shake in there.
Yeah.
Man, I'm the only one drinking today. Wow. Thanks, fellas.
Well,
You know
in
what?
all
Hey,
fairness,
Jorge, I'm not going to leave you hanging. Give me 30 seconds. I'll join you.
Thank you. What?
give me about 10 minutes and I'll join you. Maybe 15.
And you know what? It's just like, okay, obviously we are a San Antonio Brahmas podcast, and you know, we love San Antonio, but I just gotta address the elephant in the room. It's Wemby Mania, baby.
No. Who?
There we go. That's what's up.
There you go.
All right. So now that our 7'5" gigantic beauty of a hopefully eventual defensive back or wide receiver for the Brahmas, now that that's out of the way, let's talk about some football.
Let's talk about some
get into
football.
Let's get into it.
So I guess first things first, let's talk about who's having some success in the NFL right now. So we did see that our long snapper, Rex Sinahara, he just got signed by an NFL team. I believe it was
Pittsburgh.
Yeah, that's right. The
Yep.
Steelers. They picked him up. So we wish him all the best, and hopefully, he's able to snag a spot there on the Steelers as their long snapper, because we know he was as reliable as Romo when it came to. I never saw a botched snap from him all season long.
Nope.
And
But he's also
Yeah.
he's not the only Brahma who's seeing some kind of success, specifically with the Pittsburgh Steelers. I mean, didn't we have two of our defensive
Luke-
players go there also?
Luke Barkley went there.
Yeah, Luke Barku.
Yep.
Yeah. Now I haven't heard any updates, but there's not really much currently to update, because I think a lot of people are still fighting for spots at training camp.
Right.
So
Oh, yeah.
a lot of it's still just working out, OTAs. Like, you're basically bottom of the barrel right now, trying to work your way up to get a spot on that roster to ultimately get into training camp, which I believe starts next month, right? In a couple weeks, about a month from now.
Yeah.
Training
For the
camp,
most part.
I'm not 100% sure. You talking about the combine?
No, not the combine, like the training camp dates.
Yeah,
Like,
The actual team training camps, not the mini camps. We're talking about, the regular full-on OTAs.
yeah, no, like OTAs already happened back in May. They ended so I'm looking at the schedule right now.
So training camps start end of July.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm looking at July 27th for a lot of the teams. Baltimore's the 26th, all that. So yeah, right at the end of July is when they're
So
all
yeah,
starting.
we're about a month away from the start of training camps, and I think that's when we're going to start hearing a lot more news coming in. Who made the cut? Who made it through OTAs? Who made it through the tryouts? Because you remember, a lot of these players that have been coming, that have been getting invites, are just that, invites. They're not spots on the team. They're nothing guaranteed, and even the players who have signed contracts with the teams, those are also not guaranteed.
Right.
That is just them being able to practice with that specific team, and then once they make it through mini camp and preseason and all that, then that's when they start signing those big money bonuses and checks and all that stuff. And
Right.
I think for the Brahmas right now, the one that is kind of leading the charge for he's going to get a spot is obviously Parker Romo. There's been multiple news outlets that have been reporting that he's kind of leading
The best.
the he's been leading the efforts in Detroit right now as far as finding a reliable kicker. He's at the top of their list. So if any other Romos are watching, I just want to say I told y'all. I told you so. y'all were humble this past winter, saying I don't know. No, I told y'all he was going to be lighting up scoreboards. He's this close. I feel it.
So are you still gonna get a Lions Romo jersey?
Absolutely, absolutely.
I mean, Jay said he wasn't gonna do it, so
Wait, who you like, Brian?
me, I'm a Cowboys fan.
Brian.
The last place Cowboys.
Oh,
Hey, this is
my
our year,
goodness.
all right.
You say that every year.
Every year,
Yeah.
you know what? Every year, but this is our year.
For
I hear
30
ya.
something years now, bro.
26
30
years,
something
20
years.
27 years in a row now. This is our year.
You may as well call it 30 something, man. Just get comfortable with it.
But you know what's funny about this last year for the Cowboys is that even though the Packers sucked, they still lost. The Cowboys still lost to the Packers.
I ain't putting that up there.
And hey, Brian, it was not a reception, bro.
No, you know what? Des caught it. All right, Des caught it.
Des caught something.
Hey,
These nuts. No.
Family friendly
That's what
show.
happens.
Save
That's what
that.
happens
Save
when you.
that.
Family-friendly show.
That's what happens when you let the inmates run the asylum. And see, my
Right.
little boy right there, he's got headphones on, so he didn't hear that. So I'm
earmuffs,
okay.
earmuffs.
My two back here
Earmuffs,
don't, though. So,
Oops, my bad.
nothing, honey.
Exactly. That's the best
Yep.
answer right there.
What?
Best answer.
Exactly.
Nothing, honey.
But yeah, no. So NFL wise, I have a feeling we're going to be seeing Parker Romo. We're definitely not going to be seeing him back in the XFL. I can tell you that right now.
No, unfortunately.
Well, so let me ask you this then, because, we're kind of looking forward to who we think has a chance and who we think doesn't have a chance. What do we think about some of the players like Jack Cohn or Reed Sinnett or Sinnett, guys like that? I mean, what are we thinking about their chances to make it the NFL, or are they going to be making a return trip to the XFL?
I don't know if they will. I don't think they will make the 53-man roster.
No.
I don't think so.
I mean, has Sinnott even gotten a training camp invite?
Not
I
that
haven't
I'm
seen
aware
it.
of.
Yeah, I didn't think so. I know Cohn's gotten a couple, and I don't think I mean, I think most of us here on the show here we know the problem last year with the Brahmas wasn't Cohn, it was the offensive line. But there were times where he was off, and I think those times will keep him from making a league or NFL roster, this year. Maybe he gets behind a solid offensive line for another year or two, then maybe after that he can actually show what he can do. But right now, I don't think so.
No, I mean, and he showed it in the last 2 weeks of the season.
Yeah.
As we've said before, like he played really well. He also had a strong, consistent line backing him up at that time.
Yeah.
But I'll never forget what was it? It was the week after they played Orlando, or the first, like they played a home game. It was Arlington in
Arlington.
San Antonio.
Yeah.
Um, there was a game where, or there was a play where he he had like a solid 10, 15 yards in front of him and just dove
Yeah.
like for no reason. And I'll never forget that. And I'm like, my man's got the yips, you know. It's what it came down to, is he had the yips. And
And I think that was the Arlington game. That was the game that he got benched, but he
yeah,
came back.
because
You know,
Sinnott got hurt.
Then it got
Yeah.
hurt, and so yeah, I think I remember what play you're talking about, and he was just off that whole game.
Yeah,
And
it just wasn't his night.
I don't think it wasn't anybody's night that night. That
No.
was just a bad game.
And the fact that we still kept it that close against the XFL champions, put those shades away, DJ.
I ain't got no shades this time.
Good.
But the fact that we still kept it close, having such a terrible game, I think just kind of goes to show, you know,
That was just
it
the
was
story
really
of our season, though. You know, like every game, I think the worst loss we had was what, 9 points or something
against Las Vegas.
Yeah, against Vegas.
Vegas, yeah.
Every single game was close. No matter how bad we played, no matter how much the offensive line sucked, everything, they were all just close games, which was great and frustrating at the same time.
Yeah. I mean, it was, for us in the stands and for us fans, it was definitely edge of your seat. But I know rumblings from around the league, they're like, San Antonio is one of the most boring teams to watch because it was such a defensive struggle.
Yeah.
People want to see like 57 to 43 on the scoreboard, and it's like, okay, so you don't want to see defense, basically.
Yeah, that's what I'm about to say. Like 90% of our offense this year, well, this past season, was defense. Well, 90% of our production every game was pretty much defense. Like our offense pretty much wasn't doing anything.
Right.
So I'm just like, oh my goodness, man, it's definitely the offense was the worst part because the defense kept us in the game. That's what kept us in the game. But
100%,
Vegas when we
100%.
just couldn't produce at all.
Well, and again, right, it's kind of hard to produce when you've got so many rotating pieces on the offensive line, a quarterback that can't really find his rhythm because his line is gone, running backs that are coming out because they're getting hurt, receivers that normally you would be able to count on aren't producing, guys who you don't expect to produce all of a sudden are stars, right? I mean, it's hard to get anything kind of cemented, any kind of rhythm when you've got so much movement going on there. Yeah. So I'm hopeful that this next season, we can actually, because it looks like the Brahmas have already started doing that, right? With their supplemental draft, they've already started attacking the O-line issue.
Yeah.
They're starting to solidify that. So, if we can get a good quarterback in, and some of our receivers, such as Nick Holly, I want you back here in San Antonio, sir, please. But and Vasher, maybe Vasher just had a rough year last year. I know he's an incredible receiver. We've seen what he could do at Tech. So if we can get some of that, that cohesion that we've been talking about by first cementing that offensive line and then actually letting our quarterback do what he's supposed to do, I think we're obviously, we're going to be seeing a lot more offense next season. Because, I mean, who knows what we're going to see from our defense with 90% of our players being gone now. So.
Yeah, I mean, and I think they did a good job at least in the rookie draft at trying to plug in some of those holes that they know they're going to have defensively. I'm a little concerned with special teams because we don't have any special teams at the moment. But I'm curious to see, whoever is in special teams, specifically the kicker, has some giant Wemby size shoes to fill.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna be sneaking in my Wemby references all night, by the way.
I'm down
But
for
yeah,
it.
he's got some giant 7'5" shoes to fill.
Yeah.
I veto these references.
You know. Speaking of Daryl, I actually almost tagged you something on Facebook yesterday. It was on an ESPN post, and it was Wimby arrived in San Antonio and say, "Hey, when do we go down and see the basement for the Alamo?"
That's a lot.
Yay!
That's crazy. You know what? That's crazy. I'm gonna let you slide on that one. That's crazy. That's crazy.
You can be the tour guide, my man.
They had him in memes already with like the big red in one hand, and then the barbacoa, the dipping sauce. Then they had him standing in front of the Fred's fish fry with the glasses on. They trying to get that man buff. They talking about something. We got some carne asada waiting for you.
He's in the right city. That he needs to bulk up, and he's in the right city for it. So,
Well, he needs to stay away from Fred's. He needs to stay away from Fred's, though. We all know they don't sell any fish there.
Oh, they don't sell
it's
any
a
fish,
dangerous place. Yeah.
No.
He needs
Wait, tell me about it because I ain't know nothing about it. It looked good. But I looked
oh.
Have you ever driven by a Fred's Fish Fry and seen a car in the parking lot?
From the looks of it, it looks very, ran
I've
down.
never seen a car in the parking lot of a Fred's Fish Fry. And they always stay
They've been open for like 40-something years.
Yeah.
Without a single customer.
Never had one customer.
Is the food good?
They don't sell food.
It's not food they're selling.
I may end up going to Fred's Fish Fry after this.
What are they selling?
Square pieces of fish and crinkle cut fries.
Well,
is it good though?
It looks like fish.
Yeah.
So what is it?
I bet if you cut it open, canines that would be going a little bit crazy.
Yeah,
okay? That's all I'm saying.
Cut the fish open, it's a little like white powdery comes out.
PG, man. PG.
You.
All kidding aside, Fred's Fish Fry it's a San Antonio establishment. You have to try it. I can't really explain it. Okay. But as far as quality, I'm going to stick with it being a very unique experience. And
so what is it like, a Long John Silver's?
So you ever had Long John Silver's?
Yeah. It looked like a Long John Silver from the pictures.
Okay. So imagine like the fish that got rejected from Long John Silver's. That's what you get at Fred's Fish Fry. They're like, nah. Even like Long John's is like, nah. We got standards here, man.
We have standards. This is below our standards.
Even we can't sell this.
Be like, bring it on over here. We will take it.
Dang,
chop it up, put it in a patty. We got you.
So they're a throwaway restaurant.
It's a unique experience. That's all I'm going to say. You have to try it to find out.
You have to have it at least once.
Yeah.
When the last time you had it?
Me?
Yeah.
Probably back in like 83 or 84.
It's probably gotten better since then.
You want to take that bet?
It's the same. I wasn't even born yet, and I can tell you, it's the same.
He said, "You want to bet?"
Yeah. Again, no offense to any of our friends.
Go to Fred's Fish Fry after this.
We'll do the after show from Fred's.
There you go.
There you go.
Yeah.
What you about to say, Jay?
I was just going to say, no offense to any of our friends that work there, that manage any of the places, that own it or anything like that. Hats off to you for running an establishment for well over 40 years without changing a single thing. We absolutely love that about you guys. However, we're not real big fans of the food. I'm just going to say
it. So, moving on from our rant on Fred's Fish Fry.
Well, it was really about Wembanyama.
And Wemby getting some Freds down Marbach. Let's
and some capas on Marbach.
I don't know. Fred's like the fish you got in lunch in high school. I mean, I would say that
who
fish
served
was
a
even
fish
a
for
step
lunch
up.
in high school?
You never had
That's
fish
what.
for lunch in high school?
No, man. Maybe
Well,
fish sticks, but
well,
not no like fish
it,
like how they serving it.
here on Fridays during Lent, it's kind of like a requirement because there's so many Catholics here.
Mm.
So, like, you
Yes.
kind of have to serve fish, or otherwise people ain't gonna eat.
That's why Bill Miller serves fish during Lent time.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yep.
Okay.
But
So
they
it's
serve real
totally a
fish.
religious thing,
Yeah.
They serve
which
real
is
fish.
also a good kind of like reason why you should not have games on Easter Sunday. Just saying.
Mm-hmm.
Here, make it an away
True.
game.
True.
Agreed.
And home games during Fiesta, probably not the best idea either.
Agreed.
No, that I disagree. I think that is a wonderful idea. Fiesta just has to learn how to play ball.
Mm, well,
Fiesta
we're,
needs to learn how to share.
yeah, we're definitely going to find out this season whether they've ironed out those little beefs that they've had or not, for sure.
I guarantee you, Fiesta is going to be greedy. I'm not afraid to call out Fiesta.
I mean, maybe, but on the same token, maybe they come up with some kind of package deal, right? Buy a ticket to the Brahmas game, get half off admission to Fiesta.
Yeah.
Not
You
even.
know?
They'll want
They
to
got
charge
to
you
do some
double
type of.
anyway.
They got to do some type of collab. I mean, it will make the most
Yeah.
sense. Just do some type of collab.
Yeah, I'm sure if both sides are willing to sit down, and I know the XFL would be, but if both sides are willing to sit down, you can come to a compromise where both parties win, and the fans ultimately are the biggest winners, right?
They even
Because
do like some, Brahma's Fiesta jersey.
Yeah, I mean, they did the metal, which was cool.
Well, I don't know how you would do that with the gray and the gold and the yellow
you would
and
just
make it
completely
Fiesta.
redesign it,
Nah, that'd be
redesign it,
tough, man.
make it like the Spurs Fiesta jerseys.
Yes,
Yeah.
that'd be tough. Cause yeah,
Like you mean like this jersey, the Wemby jersey?
yeah,
What's up?
that'd be nice. Wait, they had those for sale at the arena? Well, the Alamo. Wait, that's Alamo. No, the AT&T Center. They had those for sale.
Yeah. So I went yesterday and it was a madhouse. Like it was nuts. And apparently, they still had some for sale today. So, but they were running out pretty quick.
Oh,
Wouldn't
okay.
it
I got a copy.
wouldn't it be just a horrible crying shame for you guys to put all of your hopes and dreams into this one player and it turns out to be a flop?
Hey, that happens all the
That's
time in sports, man.
Well,
It's called fandom. It's called
the
fandom.
Spurs' track record of number one picks.
It's pretty good.
Odds are he's not going to be. So
That's true.
You got
Fair
the
enough.
Admiral, and you got the big fundamental Tim Duncan. I mean, Spurs know what they're doing. But again, this is not a Spurs show. This is a Brahma show.
Yeah,
So
so we don't get
Right.
out.
So going back to the whole Fiesta thing, you want to know what would make the difference between Fiesta playing ball with us and not is
What's that?
if we get a certain quarterback to play for the Brahmas, also known as Agent Zero, Frank Harris,
Ooh.
UTSA.
We've talked about that, right?
A little bit, yeah.
I believe we talked about it on the show here and how instrumental that would be in raising our attendance levels and getting diehard loyal fans. If we could get Agent Zero here as our quarterback, that completely changes the game. Now, even if he doesn't start, people are going to want to show up and show their support for him. I'm sure a lot more will show up if he actually gets to start, but there's still going to be diehard Harris fans. They're going to want to show up just to be like, hey, we're here with you, man. We've been with you all your UTSA years. We're here with you now. That being the case, let me ask you this, because we know Pass is kind of the quarterback in training. He's the quarterback of the future, pretty much what Ward's words were. If you were Ward and had a chance for Harris or Pass, which one would you start?
Harris.
I'd take Harris over Can't Pass.
If I had
That's
to
the best
pick today,
Oh my goodness.
if I had to pick today, I would probably pick Harris.
Now, yes. So in that case, what you just said, if we was to pick right now, I would probably pick Harris, right? Because he's probably the most like freshly, because he's still in college, and he probably, it's not gonna take him long once he get on board with the camp and get acclimated with the team and stuff like that. But like as of right now, I would probably pick Harris, but I would probably get him another. I'll probably get past. I don't want to sell like get rid of him. Like I want to see what he would do. Like I'll
Right.
probably give him that competition. Put Harris pass right there. Okay, let's see what y'all
Yeah.
do. And whoever come out on
I'll get
top,
past another year or two to see if he can get it together.
Well, and Coach Ward said he specifically wanted to develop Jawan Pass and kind of take him under his wing. He didn't want to play him this year. He was kind of forced to play him because of injuries. So, it is what it is. He got his chance to play. It wasn't the best showing ever, but again, he also didn't have the best tools around him to work with. He didn't have it just wasn't. It was. I had to put him in, not I want to put him in.
Right.
I mean, he had the same issues that Cone, Sennett, all the quarterbacks had. He had, so.
Yeah, I mean, and that's why I say, like, Jawan Pass has had 1 year already or one season to learn and understand the the Hines Ward offensive system and the way he does things. Harris would be coming in fresh off the street, off of trailer school of football. So you got to also take that into account. But again, if I had to pick today, I would pick Harris.
He would literally be another Lindsey Scott Jr., bro. Literally.
If I had to pick in February, that would be a much harder decision.
Yeah.
They
had time.
And it also depends, can he make it through the season without getting injured? Because if Harris gets injured this season, there goes his stock. It just plummeted right there. Now that might be better.
NFL draft stock,
or even XFL. I mean,
I think they probably still give him an opportunity. It depends on how severe the injury is.
They would give him an opportunity, but I just don't know that it like they may be looking at him at like hey, let's start him, but if he gets hurt, it's like, ooh, well, let's have him on the team, but let's not start him. Let's see how he does first. But I the little I'll go back to here by the comment from Dirty. Pass did not have a good showing last year, but to his credit, like he also was not supposed to be playing.
No,
he wasn't ready.
Yeah, I mean,
I do think though that there are certain intangibles that, ready to play or not, you should have, like being able to pay attention to the play clock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense. Like I said, I mean, you said on the previous show, I think going into the season, I mean, of course, it's going to be a quarterback competition coming into next season. But I mean, going into the season, we got Reese in it. Ben Kurt probably not going to come back. Jawan Pass, and then we still got Paxton Lynch on the roster. So, I mean, that's 3 QBs, and then they didn't draft any QBs. We don't know what's going to happen from the showcase, and then we also don't know what will happen from. I think they probably have another supplemental draft or something after the NFL cuts and stuff, but we don't know. So, but I know that it has been a couple quarterbacks that's been picked in this supplemental draft. It wasn't a lot, but it's been a couple, and they nice. Arlington got a quarterback. I forgot what his name. He went to Haven or something like that. He nice. And like I said, Lindsey Scott Jr. is the incarnate word, which is not far from here. And, I mean, not far from me, but yeah, I mean, we don't have no competition in the room, man. We ain't got no room. We ain't got no. Yeah, I know. We ain't got no competition in the room though right now.
No,
and but honestly, be anybody's job.
Either I'm hoping Houston misuses Lindsey Scott and
trade him to us.
Trade him to us like they did with Nick Hawley, which I can see them doing. A la Wade Phillips. But I don't. Yeah, I wish we would have picked him up. I think that would have been a big boost for the local morale, because even though it's Incarnate Word, like it's not a big Power 5 school. It's not a big,
Right.
big name school. People here still know about Lindsey Scott.
Yeah.
They respected him for what he was doing at Incarnate Word, and I think we missed out, honestly, to do that. But I don't know, something in my gut tells me they didn't pick him up because they're kind of creeping in the shadows waiting for Frank Harris. That's my opinion.
Maybe.
I don't know. I mean, it could be, but we still don't know what's going to happen with Frank Harris. I mean, I think about 80% sure he probably is going to get invited to some bowl games, and probably I don't know if he's that good to get invited to the draft. The combine.
He'll
And
have a pro day.
yeah, he'll have
At
a pro day.
least.
But I mean, like coming into next season, coming into the NFL season when he gets out of school, I don't know if he will probably be picked in the draft. So probably go undrafted, and then we had an opportunity to grab him up. I mean that's on Coach Ward. That's if he's still here. I don't know, but that'll be on him to grab him up.
Hey, wait, if Coach Ward is still here?
Man, look, we don't know what's going to happen. Hey, they let go.
He's already said he's coming back.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about the season after, because we still got another season before we can even get Frank Harris, right?
No, this is a senior year this year.
Yep.
Yeah, but he will be technically in
after January.
But that's fast though. From January to the beginning.
He'd be eligible.
Yeah, he would be, but that's a fast transition. Like college just ended, and then you.
There were a lot of players that
he's fresh, that.
Yeah, there were a lot of players that transitioned immediately from college to either XFL, USFL, some CFL, right? Some
he played
arena ball
as his pro day.
Yeah,
he's got 3-4 months to kind of show what he can do. Real game time.
Yeah.
I mean, it's possible.
Now, the likelihood of him actually making it on an NFL roster, probably not great right now. I mean, he's still got some, rough spots that need to be polished. He's got some areas that he definitely needs work on. But for XFL, dude, he's primed for success, right?
Yeah,
and this will be that training ground for him to sharpen those skills and get better. Like this would be the perfect fit for him.
Yeah.
So
it's like Luis Perez. I mean, he didn't go to a big school, and he look at him. He tore it up at the wrong team, but he did it. And then going back to what Dirty says, when has Pass ever had a good showing? Prairie View A&M. He was a good quarterback for them at Prairie View A&M.
But you go from Louisville to Prairie View, different level of competition. But hey, if you're a dog, you're a dog. That's what I keep hearing. No matter what conference you're in.
I'm not.
But are you a big dog or are you a little dog with a big bark?
Hey, it's only a dog or a cat. You ain't no little dog, big dog. It could be a dog or a cat.
There have been plenty of quote unquote.
I'm a little dog. I'm a little dog. No.
Yeah, plenty of people that have been big dogs that got into the NFL and found out that they were Chihuahuas.
What's the so a Chihuahua is the weakest one?
I mean, have you ever seen a Chihuahua? I mean,
I'm just saying,
I own one.
I mean,
I'm just trying to get you a scale. So your scale is Chihuahua or
they're mean
big
little
dog,
bastards.
probably like a Rottweiler or something.
Yeah, when you're walking away. Otherwise, they're shaking all the time and peeing everywhere.
But that's your scale, though, right? Chihuahua to Rottweiler?
Me?
Yeah. Because I want to know, what you consider a little dog? Who you consider a little dog?
So
a miniature poodle.
A miniature poodle? Yeah.
I'm talking about a person.
As far as players go, I would say McCarron's a good example. Okay. And the reason why I say that,
dog,
DiNucci's borderline mini dog. The reason why I'm saying that is because these are guys that like McCarron, for example. And no offense to Dirty or anybody else from St. Louis that's watching. McCarron was a great quarterback in the XFL. He had his opportunity in the NFL, though, right? He chose to step down to the XFL so he could get playing time, so he would be relevant, because otherwise he was going to be a backup at best in the NFL. Okay? That's a little dog who kind of knows where his spot is. I don't think he can make that transition into the NFL. If he does, he's second, maybe third string.
I don't think he's going back.
Right. But see, that's what I'm saying.
I don't even think he wants to. He's said, coming in the league, he doesn't care about the NFL money. He doesn't care about that. He doesn't want to sit on the bench. He wants to play.
He wants to play. He wants his kids to watch him play.
Right.
Which, hey, that's admirable. So
he's a bum in the NFL.
Yep.
That's crazy.
He knows what he is. He knows what he's about, and he's happy. He's happy being in the XFL pool.
Right. Yeah. So let's talk about big dogs, right? And I'm going to use a classic example here.
Brady.
Kurt Warner is a classic example of a big dog. Okay. He had to fight his behind off to get to where he was.
Tom Brady a big dog. Why you ain't answering?
Tom Brady is a big dog also, but he went a different route than what
no top round pick.
But see, Tom Brady was in the NFL the entire time. Kurt Warner had to come from the Arena Football League.
Well, he had to come from the pick and save, and in Ohio or whatever, into the AFL and then into the NFL. Like he earned his spot, even if he wasn't as good as he was in the Hall of Fame, just because of what he had to go through to get to where he was. That right there, that's an example of a big dog. Okay. Some other players that are kind of borderline.
No, you can keep McCurran.
Well, I mean, again, it's a great example.
Doug Flutie.
Doug Flutie.
Dude.
Yeah.
But them Flutie flakes, those are pretty nasty, I'm gonna say. Okay.
Hey, but he got his Flutie flakes.
But he did get his Flutie flakes.
I don't see no Brady-O's.
Hey, not yet. Ain't no A-Rod O's either.
They'd probably taste like weed anyways.
Mushroom flavored.
Yeah, magic mushroom flavored. Right.
Well, no, Jordan Love. Josh Love, whatever. Jordan Love. What's that? Y'all
you don't want them love flakes.
15, 20 turnovers? That?
Let's wait and see, right?
Okay.
He's gonna be showing the defense some love.
Right.
I don't see the Packers doing that. But anyway, let's keep it,
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
There's
what? Different shows for talk about that.
If we're gonna be talking about product placements for NFL players, we need to make Smoke and Jay Cutler cigars. I'm just saying.
That is an awesome product plug.
Yes.
Smoke and Jay Cutler.
Can you bring me a ranch water, please?
I'm drinking a ranch water. Get yourself a Brahma beer, son.
Ooh.
I drank all mine. Sorry.
Go buy some more. They still got them at HEB.
Do they?
Yeah.
I bought these at HEB at Almost Park HEB.
They're not at my HEB.
I need to go check on mine. I got a couple more from my last stock up.
I do miss drinking these on the regular though.
Yeah.
I will say, I don't know about you guys, but since the XFL season has ended, and maybe this isn't applicable for you, DJ, because I know you weren't able to tailgate with us as much as like we were tailgating and stuff like that.
At all?
No, I mean he showed up, but
a lie.
But like
sometimes I was there before you.
He couldn't be as consistent, is what I'm saying. Like he wasn't showing up at 7 a.m. to line up.
He wasn't like us degenerates.
Yeah.
And I don't know about y'all, but since the XFL season has ended, I have lost some weight because my beer consumption has gone down, as has my barbecue and taco consumption. I'm just I'm making space for next season. Besides, I have a new traje that's getting made, and that is precise to my measurements. So if I gain too much weight, I won't fit into it. And
you should have made it a little bit larger, just for the expectation of.
That's the thing, though, is when they make it, is like they make it to your size, and it's like if you expand a little
They
bit,
just
you're
got
going to
tailored
be.
again.
I would have to get it retailored, yes, but otherwise I would look like a busted can of biscuits.
Well, did you go get measured right at the end of the season where you're at your highest? So
Yes, I did.
there you go.
I did.
So prepping for what you're going to be. There you go. See, that's smart.
Yep, that suck everything in
go
nice
at your
and tight.
heaviest so you know what to expect.
No more Brahma beers for you.
I'm gonna have to only drink up to this part right here. Once I
And
get
then
past the logo,
save the rest for next week.
there you go.
Just put it in the container.
Just edit in the opening, can opening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's that?
Okay.
Is that a Texas Longhorns beer?
This is a ranch water, right?
What the hell is that?
That's a Longhorn.
No, what is a ranch water?
Texas.
What is
You've
ranch
been
water?
here long enough. You gotta have had a ranch water.
You know what? I think he
So
tried to give me one.
the real way to
one
make
of
it
the
is
tailgates.
tequila and club soda.
Yeah.
Right.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh shit! What's the percentage?
But that one they make with
lot.
like agave nectar and vodka or something or whatever.
Yeah. Man,
that's good stuff
cold.
right there. That's good stuff right there.
So what we got? What else we got?
So
seat relocation.
Oh yeah. So
yeah,
so this past week, obviously and remember it's open until Sunday for existing season ticket members who have already renewed for next season. So DJ, you're out of this.
Okay.
But
I'm going though. Let me at the games.
if you have not taken advantage of it, if you want to, you still have the ability to change your seats if you want. You can move to a different section. You can move a different row, things like that. So just know that if you do move to a different section, obviously if you're sitting on the end zone and then you want to move to the 50-yard line, there's going to be a little bit of a charge. But yeah, I moved up to the front row. From what I'm hearing, section 108 is going to be one of the rowdier sections with a lot of dressed up people. But I know this man's section right here, both of these guys right here. Why don't you tell us about your section? What that's going to be like?
Oh. We like to call that the danger zone for the opponent. Again, you guys have known me for a while, right? You know how rowdy we can get at the games. We're not the only ones, though. We've made friends with probably about 30, 35-ish people in our section that are just as loud, just as rowdy, and just as mean and despicable as we are. So Wade Phillips is coming out, and it started out him getting it both barrels from us. Now there's like 35 of us dumping on Wade Phillips and on Big Game Bob and too bad our guy from Vegas kind of got asked to terminate himself. We could have seen some more broken headsets. Like this whole section is as rowdy as can be. John right there, but I think he's on the home side.
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
Switch those tickets, John. Come see us.
Come see the visitor side. It's way more fun on the visitor side.
Yeah. It's the only side you can literally yell the whole entire game, and it's okay.
Not true, because I take it back. You got in 108 you can yell, but then apparently people get mad at you. Your own fans get mad at you for yelling and stopping. So there is that.
And stopping the wave, because how dare you stop the wave, sir?
I know. People, I can't. I did that one time, and people will not let go.
No,
people
especially on offense.
Especially on offense. How you stop the wave on the opposing team's offense?
No. On the home side offense.
Yeah, but he's been stopping the wave for everything.
You stopped it while we were on offense.
He stopped the wave for everything. No, we were stopping the wave for everything, even when the opponent's offense was on the field.
But that's because the wave won't stop. Like if you're doing it on defense and then our team our offense goes on the field,
they were still
keeps going.
Yeah.
The wave has returned. The wave debate.
You started the wave in the championship game.
And I
That
was
was
proud
on
of you for doing
purpose.
that. I was proud of
That
you
was
for
on
doing
purpose.
Yes, but that's
Oh, that was just
you brung the wave
Arlington.
back because people from the San Antonio was at the Alamo Dome too. They saw that you started the wave, so now the wave
Yeah,
is back.
and they knew that I was doing it on purpose. There was a method to the madness.
But we still blaming you because you brung the wave back.
Speaking of madness, I don't know if we actually talked about my idea or not. I know all of us have talked about it.
About each corner of the stadium?
The whole inner ring, all of the double A seats should be taken up by Brahmas fans. So if you have tickets and you can move down to double A. If you've not bought season tickets yet, but you're thinking about it, buy some double A tickets. Let's create the Ring of Terror. That way, every opponent coming into the Alamo Dome absolutely dreads having to come in here and play us because we're so loud and rowdy. Like they literally don't have a chance, That's my idea. I know it's wild, it's crazy, it's a little bit revolutionary, but I'm telling you, that's the home field advantage that we need.
Be loud for our home team. That's revolutionary. Yeah.
In this town, apparently it is.
We got to call it something else though, not Ring of Terror. Maybe like Stockyard or something.
Hold on,
like that.
guys. I have an insane idea.
He trolling.
At the games, we root for our team.
Oh my! Why didn't I think of that?
Brian,
I know.
That's
right
genius.
Here.
That's genius.
Right here, Brian.
That's
right
genius.
Here. Hey, read between the lines.
I wonder who came up with that. I wonder who came up with that. That's genius.
It was a genius that came up with it.
You should trademark that.
You know what else we should do is boo our own fans, especially when they come out on the jumbotron.
Ooh, we already doing that.
I know we got to keep doing that.
Keep doing that.
And then take video of them when they're not looking. Look at from when you're up at the top and you see a fan, video them and then post it on Facebook.
Punch forward, baby.
Oh yeah. You felt that personally, huh?
Oh yeah. No, I got it all season long. And here's another thing. Call people that aren't employed by the XFL or the Brahmas. Call them professionals and say that they're unprofessional. There's an idea.
Oh wow, that's different.
So those are a little bit personally biased jabs, and I get it, right? But on the same token,
it's oddly specific there.
Do that beat out the Arlington fans or what? Or Arlington or what?
No, Arlington sucks anyways.
I mean, but I'm saying, what's worse for you?
Arlington.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
My fans, our fans, they like to boo me when they for whatever reason think I'm the fun police. Arlington fans just don't like me. Period. They don't like who I am.
I wonder why.
I mean, there's nothing you've ever done that could possibly make Arlington fans not like you.
I gave them so many of these willingly. I brought them up to their house and I was like, drink away, my friend. And then they come to my house and then they boo me and they call me names. I'm just saying.
Who had Arlington sign up with a red circle and the line going through?
This man right here.
You wonder why Arlington don't mess with
you. Maybe they weren't booing you. They were just booing the sign.
No, they were booing.
That's smart.
How many videos did you post about how Arlington doesn't have good tacos? Or the one I saw recently that was apparently a little bit of an older video about how there were the best place to get tacos at in Arlington. I mean,
no.
I'm just saying, you've taken your shots, so you got to take it back.
Here's the thing. A lot of that stuff is me just simply making in video format what people from that area tell me.
You're just relaying information.
I'm just relaying information in a much more digestible manner.
Is what you're saying.
Exactly. So if they're telling me that, look, if you have to go to the dangerous neighborhoods in Dallas and get shot at to go get tacos,
they probably some good tacos.
What are they? But I can go. I can walk 2 blocks and get good tacos, and I will not get shot at in
You
San
might not.
Antonio.
Somebody else might.
Yeah. Based on DJ's logic, Fred's fish fry is probably the best fish on earth. Then.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we talking. There we
Hey,
go.
it probably is. I never had it, so I can't get
No, sir.
So,
No,
but
sir.
I mean, the shots at Dallas and Arlington are not gonna stop. I'm gonna keep them going.
Man, yeah,
And
gonna
trust
keep
me,
blowing you.
whenever I'm in a video, I don't even mention Arlington. Like I don't even mention Dallas or nothing, right? And I'm just wearing this hat right here or a Brahma shirt. I will get "Go Renegades" in the comments, and I'm like, I'm not even talking about the XFL. Like, and you wonder why I don't like you guys.
Yeah.
But you're wearing Brahma stuff, and you've already taken a lot of shots at them, so you've kind of set yourself up. But this is actually kind of a nice segue to go into like the whole purpose of our show, right? Talking about the super fans. We've
Crap
talked
on
about
the Harlan Renegades.
right. Well, we've talked about a lot of the good aspects of what it means to be a super fan and kind of the accolades and the joy that you get. Let's talk about the flip side. And Jorge, you can specifically speak to this. From the super fan. Sorry, my dog is apparently part of the show now too. But this is why they tell you don't get huskies. Okay. But as a super fan and all this, the shots that you're taking from Arlington, the shots that you've taken from like Houston and I'd say Vegas, but they don't have any fans, so they
don't
haven't
have
taken any
fans.
shots.
I actually got thanked in Vegas.
Yeah, because you actually brought energy to the game. Let's talk about some of the negative stuff that you've had to experience being the super fan of one of the super fans of San Antonio.
Yeah, no. So, obviously, people think that I'm employed by the XFL or by the Brahmas, which I'm not. And if you think that I am, please, where's my paycheck? But I'm not. I do what I do because I love it. But what I don't appreciate is when
secretly he is hired by that.
and this is how rumors get started. When you see of like someone and you're filming them, I understand Texas is a one-party consent state, then like, but when you're so I'm gonna go to a specific incident that happened that I was very uncomfortable with. My son, he is autistic, and he overstimulation can impact him a lot. Which is why you always, whenever you see him in pictures with me, he's always wearing those headphones because he needs them. And there was a time, especially during the wave, when someone from way up above in one of the end zone sections pulled out their camera and started filming me and my family while my son was having an episode. And I'm not doing the wave because I'm tending to my son, right? Like, screw football, screw everything. My son is my priority right now, and when I get filmed without my consent while I'm trying to calm my son down and let him enjoy the game the same way that every other fan in there gets to enjoy it, but then I get posted on social media and clowned on for not participating like everybody else is and being a super fan, that kind of stuff, like, that's not cool. Like, remember, I'm a person too. All right. Just because you see me on social media, just because you see me on your phones, just because I have, I'm known as a personality, does not mean that I am just a puppet for entertainment. Like, and that the same goes for any other super fan of any team, whether that is, Captain Obvious from DC, whether that's Captain Brahma from our team, whether that's the green guy from Orlando, whether that's Ball Hawk One, or whether that's Excalibur. Like, at the end of the day, we're people with families too, and we're happy to do whatever it takes to make people happy. But when you abuse that privilege,
Right.
then like it makes us less what's the word? It makes us more weary to want to go put ourselves out there because people are going to take that and and use it as a way to kind of clown us. And I mean, I have thick skin. It doesn't like whenever people clown me or boo me, like I'm like I love it. But when I'm tending to my son for a medical need and I'm being filmed and being told like, look at this guy, he's not participating because he thinks he's better than us. Like, nah, like that ain't cool.
Yeah.
So there is a fan etiquette there that you have to respect. There are boundaries you have to respect. And so that's just a message that I would give to the fans is like you don't know what the situation is at that exact moment. And so don't bust out your phone and then post it on social media when something's not going right, because that's how would you like it if someone did that to you, you know?
Yeah.
No.
So ultimately, at the end of the day, right, we're all fans. We all need to treat each other with respect. And if somebody's doing something that we don't like, we can say something about it, but kind of just leave it there, right? If people are doing the wave and we don't like it, we're going to try and do what we can to stop it. But ultimately, I mean, it is what it is, right? People are going to do.
We're not the
thing.
wave police,
right?
Sometimes.
What's up, Jeremy? We're here to have a good time.
Sometimes
we're kind of old, seasoned football vets, right? And we understand, like we're bringing football etiquette from the highest level and trying to introduce it here. And so not everything is necessarily going to catch on. And we don't expect everybody to have the exact same football etiquette that we do, but there are certain things that we kind of are used to and we would like to see here. And so we're just asking for, a little bit of flexibility, right? So, certain things like don't make noise when our offense is on the field. Don't do the wave when the offense is on the field. Go crazy when defense is on the field. Have a good time, right? Be good to each other. Don't be, rude to the opposing fans. Be rude but respectful to the other team, right? Don't make it personal. Don't say anything about the mamas or, no F-bombs or anything like that, which I found out about. Right.
Or you'll have security come,
and then become best friends with you.
Shut up.
And then be friends.
And then ultimately be your best friend.
Yeah.
We could talk about this real quick if you want to, because this is actually this comment from Mike. It's some really good information. You guys want to talk about this?
Let's do it.
Oh, Jeremy, as a A&M former student, yes, absolutely. Those games are crazy.
Yes. So the rest of his comment says like Kyle Slaughter was to the XFL. Magoo and Bethel Thompson, even Thompson is pretty good. These are all quarterbacks from the USFL.
Mark Thompson, I think he's a running back, right?
I don't know about Thompson. I don't know about Thompson. I know about Magoo and Bethel Thompson because we've been watching them.
Wes Hills is a running back.
Okay. There are some hidden gems in the USFL. Not that we're trying to promote the USFL. But from an exposure standpoint, these players I think would be much better off in the XFL than the USFL because as we've seen from the viewership numbers that have come out this last week, right? XFL, USFL were neck and neck with viewership. And that's not counting some of the streaming services and stuff like that you just can't get numbers
XFL
from.
was like 620, USFL was like 603 or something like that. Okay.
Yeah, the USFL beat the XFL by like average 2,000 per game. But if you actually want to play in front of fans, you come to the XFL.
No, XFL won overall, like from the season average attendance.
Attendance, yes.
Viewership.
Not viewership.
TV viewership.
Viewership. Mike Mitchell posted it. They did.
I thought the USFL had it like just average. It like 2,000 per game more was.
I don't know per game. I'm talking about overall for the season. Mike Mitchell posted it. XFL did 620. USFL did like 603.
No.
Yeah, they called it a dead heat.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was
they
close,
they
though.
were right there, whichever way. But
Yeah.
I mean,
It was
XFL blew them out of the water in attendance.
Yeah.
Oh, for
USFL
sure. Yeah.
won't even release the attendance numbers.
They wouldn't. Nope.
I've looked and I can't find any attendance numbers.
Yeah, they
Because
won't.
why would you count anything under 100? I mean,
Yeah,
you know. But the point is, characters like Magoo, Bethel Thompson, some of these other players that we've been keeping an
They
eye
nice,
on.
man. They nice. I've been watching.
Yeah. And so I really think that they would have a better opportunity. So I'm almost wondering, because we talked to what was his name? The defensive player who went to DC, and then we got him. But he went to DC because his contract was
train wrecker.
Yeah. His contract was tied up with the USFL.
Yeah.
He gets here, he gets a better opportunity. He gets more eyes on him. So maybe we try and make a play for some of these bigger names.
So look,
what are your thoughts?
This is my thoughts, right? So now we all know that the XFL starts before the USFL, right? That's a given. But once the seasons are over, and I think once their contract hits the expiration date, they're free to go wherever they want to go, right? So they can go. USFL players can sign to the XFL, which some did. I mean, this past beginning of the season, some did. But what I keep hearing, and which makes sense, but agents are going to put their players in the best position possible. So if you have running back, and then you have a team in the XFL that's loaded. I mean, you have teams in the XFL that's loaded up on running backs. You're like, the agent gonna be like, no, I don't know. You probably have a better shot going into Memphis Showboats. They got an opening in a running back position. They got two spots they need to fill. You could try to get over there. So I think they're gonna go with the best position for them, and as far as the best prep, because you think about it, XFL. The biggest plus side is they have more time with training camps, OTAs, and stuff like that for the players after the season. Whereas the USFL is still going on. So by the time players get out the USFL, they ain't gonna have a lot of time to adjust. That's why a lot of quarterbacks haven't really been getting picked up by USFL teams. Because you need a lot of time to develop and get the system and all that type of stuff. So I mean, you got pluses and minuses, man. So USFL might have more spaces on the team, but guess what? I mean, they ain't got no fans in the stands. If you thrive off fans in the stands, like some of the players said when they came on the show, they like the fans yelling. They like the fans, all the momentum that the fans give, even when they on even when we on offense, but they can still hear it. Still, just how loud we are. But some players like that type of stuff. Some players like, oh no, I don't want to go there. I mean, I like to hear the fans. I like the whole experience. So it's pretty much what fits best for that player. Simple. I mean, that's my opinion. But hey,
go ahead.
Valid opinion. No, look. I'll be honest. I'm not a fan of the USFL. I've tried watching it, and I've been
flat out said
watching
it. I'm just not a fan.
Like I'm just not a fan. Like it's just not interesting football for me to watch. I don't see any environment there that is like enticing for me, which is part of the experience of being a football fan. And the fact that they were in a dead heat with the XFL while the XFL had games on FX and the USFL has games on Fox.
Yeah.
And
and
ABC
screwed up as the XFL games and schedules were, for 8:30 at night, 9:30 at night games, for it to be in a dead heat with the USFL. Yeah, that speaks volumes for the quality of football that the XFL had.
Yeah, because we had a lot of Thursday, Friday. Well, not a lot, but we had some Thursday games. I think we had a Friday game. Then we had some Monday games. Whereas USFL, theirs is set. They play 2 games on Saturday, 2 games on Sunday. Not hard to find.
And like the way, so a lot of people, what I've been hearing is that they've been saying that the graphics packages and like the designs and the looks, it looks, the USFL looks pretty, right? But you can polish a turd all you want. It's going to be a turd at the end of the day. And
it looks pretty because it's got Fox behind it.
That's
right.
The intro music, the outro music they're using the same NFL intro music and outro music to the different things. So they're trying to make the NFL feel and kind of that package with it. But like you said, it's not the NFL.
Right.
Yeah. But to add though, I have me personally, I have been watching the USFL. It has been getting better as far as the quality of play has been getting better as as the time goes on. The games get closer to the playoffs and stuff.
I've enjoyed the games I've watched. Uh,
Some of them.
Shameless plug. Me and Jay's podcast. On Tuesday nights we talk about USFL and all that stuff too. So we do watch the games.
Yeah.
And it's been enjoyable. I definitely enjoy the XFL a lot more, but
we in the same position, meaning the XFL is the same position that USFL is the same position that the XFL was in, which the whole South Division in the USFL, they all below 500. So you about to have two 4-6 teams going into the playoffs in the USFL.
The North Division, everyone was below 500, and in the South, everyone was 500 and above.
Oh, sorry, flipped it. Yeah, so
everybody theirs was just flipped to ours.
Yeah. But I have also been watching the CFL, so it's the second week in the regular season, and their schedule is kind of a little different too. And I think this is the first season they having all their games on US TV because you can watch it on CBS Sports Network.
Mm-hmm.
But hey, it's the thing with the CFL. I don't like the 3 downs, man. I know people love it, but I can't get with it. I'm like, second down is technically 3rd down. So when it's 2nd and 10 in the CFL, that's 3rd down and 10. Like you got to get a 1st down. I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm getting anxiety watching this.
Well, and the field is a little bit wider and a little bit longer, and it's a little bit weird. It's kind of hard.
It's a different. It's a different kind of football.
Y'all remember when San Antonio had the CFL team, the original Texans?
Yeah,
I don't.
I do.
Yeah.
Yep. When we had the World League, the Riders, for about 3 weeks,
and the Wings.
Yeah. And the Force.
That was like 70s.
Yeah. And the original Gunslingers. Like we can go on and on.
Have y'all watched the CFL?
Not this season. I watched a little bit last season. And it was just weird.
I think I just like following the players that leave the XFL and go to the CFL.
Mm-hmm. And there have been a couple of them. Yeah.
And Cam Phillips, that was on the 2020 Roughnecks team with Pat. What's my man name? PJ Walker. He played for the Toronto Argonauts. Brian Scott played for the Toronto Argonauts. I don't think he started though.
Yep.
But yeah, man. What else we got?
The weird one to watch is that ELF, the European League of Football,
which hard to watch that. The game's going early in the morning.
It's that's the thing, right? You have to watch the games in replay. Time zone. Yeah, because of the whole time zone thing. But it's NFL, but in Europe, right? And anybody that remembers the experiment of NFL Europe back in the 90s, some of those teams are still there, like the Rhine Fire and stuff like that. You can't watch the games live because otherwise 3:00 in the morning you're watching football, and that's a little bit obsessive, even for me.
Devon Buckman playing.
That doesn't sound too bad.
He's still over there
after a nice long night, just going out partying, come back, watch some football.
Maybe, but speaking of obsessive things, Jorge, why don't you take us into our last segment?
Yeah. So it'll be a quick one. It's just a reminder. Save the date.
That's what she said.
In in August we're gonna have a get together. More details to come. We're working. Hopefully, we can make it something with the Brahmas and have them come out there. Not the team, obviously, because there is no team yet in August. But we'll see what we can do. Watching live football in Hawaii, I can imagine.
Yeah, it's like 5-6 in the morning, man.
But yeah, no, that's it's one of those things where I just wanted to throw that out there. Make sure you guys keep your Brahmas gear close by, and just keep your eyes posted on the social media channels for updates on that. And as we get closer to the dates, obviously you'll be hearing more about it. And then there'll be more events after that, watch parties, NFL watch parties. Again, it's all going to be dependent on who makes the 53-man roster other than John Parker Romo. But, yeah, so there'll be more to come. And we look forward to being able to see you guys again. after the season is up, or once the NFL season begins, and I guess like our off season is starting to come to an end. Now we are going to be experimenting with the with our podcast a little bit,
Only horn.
and it's and so right now, obviously, you're watching the Horns Forward podcast. We're gonna be doing something called Only Horns. It's kind of like a Horns Forward After Dark, which is we're gonna go over to YouTube and YouTube only, and it's gonna be on the Viva Texas YouTube channel. So if you want to see what we talk about,
After
uncensored and
hours.
unfiltered after hours,
Not family friendly.
Not family
That's
friendly.
our
yeah,
Only Horns channel.
Onlyhorns.com.
the Only Horns.
Only Horns TV.
I don't like where this is going.
I know.
Once
Onlyhornstv.com.
once we log off of this, then come and check out Only Horns on YouTube on Viva
Come
Texas
and
YouTube.
check out.
Put the kids to bed first, please.
Yes.
But yes, put the kids to bed because this is going to be a crack a beer open and let's chit chat.
Talk some chit chat.
Crack something open. Not a juice box though. Right?
Yeah,
Not
no
a juice
juice
box.
boxes allowed.
This ain't no juice box. This is alcohol for y'all. 11.1%. Oh wait, we got to say that for the Only Horns.
Oh, the Only Horns right there.
All right,
But,
Jorge, sign us off, man.
all right, man. Like we finish it like we always do. Everybody have a good weekend. Thank you for joining us. Horns forward, everybody. We'll see
Horns
you guys
forward,
next
baby.
week.
Let's go.